Let's get naked.
Welcome to episode 1 of the Football Buddies. Here we are.
Football buddies.
Football Buddies podcast.
Just kidding. Welcome back to the Fumblebrewski. Despite nobody ever understanding the pun and the glorious wordplay of this name, if you're an idiot and don't know what a Fumblebrewski is, let me know in the comments below.
Yes.
But welcome back to the Fumblebrewski. The Football Buddies would maybe be a name last.
Maybe. We're exploring potential avenues. Drop a comment if you understand the reference. Please understand the reference.
Please, someone. It's been 2 years, bro. Please, someone understand the reference. Grab a brew and tune into the Fumblebrewski.
Or comment if you want Football Buddies. Anyways, welcome back. Crazy weekend of football. I'm excited to talk about it. I've been processing, everything that happened, like reading some articles, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of interesting points that we'll get to them throughout as we go, but I think there's a lot of interesting things that happened last week, and I'm excited to dive in.
Definitely interesting is the right word to call it, Spencer. Like it's that Vikings-Bills game was a pretty fun game, but there was a lot of ups and downs along the week. I mean, that Thursday night game was pretty ugly to start us off, and then it just not exactly what we expected, bro.
You good there?
Yeah, I just realized my mic was on surround sound, so sorry for any extra noise picked up, and my chortles and laughs might have been a little harsh to your ears, but we're a lot better now.
I was hearing this fuzzies.
Oof.
Sounding beautiful.
But now we're beautiful, Spencer. Just like our football takes, just like our football minds, because we know ball, brother.
Yeah, just like our takes. Beautiful takes. You'll hear a bunch of them, maybe some not so beautiful ones. That's okay too. That's also what we're here for. You know what I mean? You don't bat 1,000.
I bat 1,000, brother. I don't know about you, man. Like I am a titan of the industry. Okay,
titan of the industry.
They put my name.
Titan of the industry.
It's Matthew Berry, Adam Schefter, Nando Talk from the Fumblebrewski.
Yes,
like that's how
that's the list.
There might be
last list I saw. Yeah, I think that's where it was.
There might be 200 to 400 people ahead of me in between that, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate. I bat 100, maybe. Oh no, I bet 1,000. I don't know baseball, bro.
Yeah. Football podcast. Anyways,
I think batting 100 is pretty bad.
What?
I think batting 100 is pretty bad, right?
Yeah, 100 is pretty bad.
Ooh, no bueno.
300 is like good.
So we're definitely batting 1,000, papa.
yeah. Batting 1,000 means never miss.
I can never miss a loss.
Anyways, let's get into some football talk. Yeah, let's start off with that game. We can start off with the Vikings versus the Bills. Probably the game of the year. They're, first of all, just like an insane last 3 minutes and overtime, 4 minutes and overtime, whatever it was. Crazy game all around. But there's a lot to dissect. A lot of crazy things happen. First off, we're going to start with the who's fallen, okay? We're going to start with the negative here. Who's fallen? The referees. I think there was an inexcusable offense there at the end of the game. Bills are driving down the field, down 3, and they have that 20-yard pass to Gabe Davis on the sidelines. He goes out of bounds. The clock stops. Don't know if he caught it or not, and they didn't review it. Why would they not review it? And that's like a game-changing play that they missed, right? That makes that should not happen.
Not at all, man. Like it's that Gabe Davis catch definitely questionable, which is why I'm not sad for the Buffalo Billy Boys at all when the fact that they lost the game. Like it should have even gotten to that point. The Vikings deserve to win, and they rightfully won. And I'm glad it turned out for them that way instead of them getting robbed by just cruddy calls, man. Good for the Vikings.
Crazy game though. Also, Dalvin had that drop on that fourth down. Like they got bailed out by the offsides, but that drop on the fourth down, that wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen fumbling the ball, like it was definitely, but
Also, that wasn't good. Yeah.
wild turn of events each time. Like that entire end of the game, man. Like as I was leaving Hard Rock Stadium, like you could see just patches of Dolphins fans, Browns fans, just clumped up around phones, just
Oh,
like, oh my god, is this really happening? Like
were
obviously
they
Dolphin
showing the
fans
game
froze
in
their
the
vacations.
stadium? Were they?
So I heard from other people that they stayed at the like little bars and stuff like
Yeah.
Club Live. Also, like people were watching the game. I was just trying to leave. Like my
Yeah.
buddies and I were just trying to go, so we were watching it on the phone on the go. But a lot of people did stay behind and just try to watch and cheer. So it's a pretty cool experience, you know.
Yeah.
Like that was a wild game. Like I'm glad I at least got to see the finish of that game. Thankfully, the Dolphins crushed the Browns, so we were able to watch a little bit of that Bills Vikings game. If you got to watch the whole game, lucky you. You know, I definitely want to run that one back, man.
Yeah. You're right. Didn't get to watch the whole game. Caught the end of the game. Was fantastic though. Like very entertaining football. Justin Jefferson is indeed a monster. He's so good. That catch, crazy. Don't know how it happened.
So like I think that's better than the Odell Beckham Jr. catch. Like it was.
I don't understand.
He ripped it out of the dude's hands, but
Yeah.
didn't. You know what I'm saying? Just with one hand, just pulling it out. Justin Jefferson just showing why he's one of the best, if not the best young receiver in the NFL, man.
And considering the situation, he doesn't make that catch, game's over, they lose.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's also
Gotta
like
have it. 4th and 18. Like
that's what I'm saying. 4th and 18. It's the implication of that catch. Like I know Odell's. I think I'm pretty sure that it was a touchdown. But I don't think it's like a game altering moment. That's like
it was a touchdown. Like
right.
but it wasn't
It was
fourth
4th
quarter.
18,
Like
fourth quarter, 4th and 18 to keep your win alive.
keep
You
your
know,
team
like
alive.
that's
Exactly.
wow, man.
Let's put some respect on the Vikings as well. At some point, you got to realize I think the Vikings are probably pretty good. I don't. It's like people always doubt them, but you can't really doubt them now. 8-1. They've just beat the Bills in Buffalo. They beat Miami. They're like looking like a good team.
No, the Vikings are solid, man. Like it's the fact that they also brought in TJ Hawkinson as well, like Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, TJ Hawkinson, Dalvin Cook, and they've got some depth with Alexander Madison back there as well. Kirk Cousins has the weapons, and that's always been the situation. As long as Kirk has the weapons, as long as he doesn't have to be the star of the spotlight. He's not the guy who's going to carry the games, but he doesn't have to. He's an amazing guy who can direct an offense. He's a vet, a consummate pro.
He does do some stupid stuff sometimes.
Oh, for sure. When he's asked to do too much, but you don't have to do too much. And you've got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, TJ Hawkinson. Like I don't think there's a more favorable offensive weapons in the NFL besides obviously the Dolphins. We've got some crazy stuff there, but that's such a complete team over there in Minnesota on the offensive ball.
I think Kirk is all right.
Yeah, he's decent, bro. Like I'm saying, he's not going to lose you games if he's got pieces. Like,
yeah, he'll do like some dumb stuff. Maybe not be the most consistent, but I think he's very. I mean, having a good year so far. Obviously, 8-1, can't complain. Having a good old time, you can see. We're gonna move on to who's balling.
What I think we should want to touch some fantasy talk just because we have a couple people in the chat talking about some fantasy football.
We got some comments in the chat. Yeah, let's turn to them.
Let's do it. You know, we got some fantasy fallout boys. Normally, we'd go with who's balling, who's fallen. We did start off with the Chiefs, that little Chiefs game, just to talk about it. But fantasy fallout boys, just really quick, just because I've seen some people waiting, man. You know, Mr. Spencer,
okay. I'm always ready for advice.
Or Brian Robinson, brother.
Ooh,
Isaiah Pacheco.
That's a good one.
He got named the starter a couple weeks back. Didn't really come to fruition. He got named the starter, then Andy Reid didn't really seem to use it. His snaps have been increasing. He's a rookie. He's explosive. He's got that Tyreek 10. Chiefs are coming off a bye. Do they up his usage? Do they start moving Jerick McKinnon out or CEH? Do they start phasing one of those two backs out? And Washington, Antonio Gibson ran nice, but so did Brian Robinson was running well on Monday.
Yeah,
which are you playing, bro?
Out. So the only thing that worries me about Pacheco is that the Chiefs just spread the ball out so much. He does he usually does well with his touches, and I think he's good. And he's definitely won the job over CEH over there. But Brian Robinson probably has more consistent volume. I don't know. I go Pacheco. I think he's more likely to break a big play. Will be involved in the offense throughout the game.
Yeah, those
Can
pass
catch
catching
passes out of the backfield. If it's a PPR league, it is a PPR this week. So I think I go Pacheco there.
Yeah, if it's PPR, like I definitely go for Pacheco. Just you want to, anytime you get a piece of the Chiefs offense or a better offense in general, that'll be the deciding factor. Honestly, I haven't looked at these two players. I'd have to see how I know both of their snap counts have been increasing. I'd have to see how much of a difference of a jump we're talking about here.
Yeah, but you're
But
right.
just
The
off the,
offense is just more powerful. Also.
but yeah, but just as I'm saying, the Chiefs offense just being more powerful. I just want a piece of that rather than the Commanders who are figuring out if it's going to be Heineke or how what's going to happen when Wentz comes back. Brian Robinson's been looking good. It's two rookies, so you can't really go wrong. Sounds like you don't have too much running back depth, so I'm hoping it's just a this week's situation. But I'd go Pacheco, man. But I don't think it's too far off. Like if you could even trade Pacheco and you have to start Brian Robinson, like why not let it fly? And I don't think that's how close of a difference I think it is. But let's ride Pacheco.
I think you can expect probably a similar package out of either guy.
Like this. So that's why I mentioned trade though. My trade deadline in a couple of leagues is this week. So if you can get any value, now's the time to do it. Trade away Gabe Davis for Deonta. I guess this is Deonta Foreman in PPR. My other wide receivers are Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mari Cooper, George Pickens, Hollywood Brown. Could use running back depth. Yeah, Foreman looked to have a stranglehold on the carries, man. Like Chuba Hubbard did not seem to be running the ball effectively. Even that undrafted free agent, I think Blackshear, was starting to run up a little bit better. I would try a trade for Foreman if you're trying to go for a win now. It's a safe player, nice RB2, at least a flex every week with a nice stranglehold on the touches in Carolina. And I don't think Gabe Davis is anything too crazy. Like, especially the Bills have not been looking too hot. They're really feeding Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis has been disappointing this year, man.
And the way you have enough wide receiver depth there.
Exactly.
That Gabe Davis is not going to be a big loss there. Definitely, I'd use that. Any leverage you have there to try to get a running back where you can if you need, because I think you're going to be fine wide receiver wise either ways. Amari Cooper, George Pickens are all like playable guys either way as a wide receiver 3 or a flex. So I think you should definitely use any of that, like not completely necessary wide receiver depth to get a running back that is going to be more helpful to your team.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Ken Walker and Joe Mixon. Those are great running backs. Walker is on the bye, but when he comes back, you've obviously got your RB1 and 2. The depth, Foreman would be a nice RB3 for you to use in the event either of those two guys go down. Yeah, you need that RB depth, man. I'd make that trade in a heartbeat. I don't think it's an overpay or anything either. If the guy accepts it right now, you do it, and then you're good to rock. You've got at least a flex play, if not some health insurance.
Those are different teams, Fernando. Different teams.
Huh?
Different trades.
Really? Oh, haha. Sorry, bro.
We're mixing. We're crossing trades. Making up. See, this is interleague. This is interleague fantasy football going on.
My fault, bro. But yeah, definitely trade Gabe Davis for Foreman, man. If you've got all that wide receiver depth, the point still stands, man. But this is a different league. Bada bing, bada bam.
Yes, in this league though. That's rough. I know what it feels like in one of my leagues. I currently do not have a wide receiver that I can play because of buys and injuries and such. So I'm going to be looking to make a trade almost out of necessity, pretty bare and waiver wire at this point. I'm going to try to make a trade and see what we can do.
Yeah, honestly, at this point in the waiver wire, you're really just trying to look for high upside shots. Nothing too crazy is probably out there. Maybe like, for example, the Cardinals just lost Zach Ertz. Maybe if you're struggling at tight end because it's a pretty shallow position, get a guy like Trey McBride, second rounder for the Cardinals, highest drafted tight end out of this class. I think he's projected for like 5 or 6 points in most leagues right now. So you could probably scoop him as your second waiver claim. Just a dart throw if you have a tight end help. Foster Moreau, another guy who now that Darren Waller's on IR, maybe he gets a
Jeff
little action.
Wilson. Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson, if he's somehow on your waivers, you
No,
rock with
not
that.
on waivers. I think he's going to be a trade target.
Trade, that's
Trade
a good.
target.
I was going to touch buy lows for trades in a second. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of any other waiver guys off the top of my head. There's really nothing. You're just going for high upside shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's tough.
Buy lows though, Spencer. That's a good one to start off with. What are some buy lows? Jeff Wilson, beautiful. So I think it's a stranglehold. And conversely, I think Raheem Mostert would be a sell high. You know, the guy who was the presumed starting running back, and now that Jeff Wilson's there, maybe you can convince someone who needs running back depth to give you a little bit of wide receiver depth. You know, something small, but I think Jeff Wilson is a buy low because he's going to be balling out, man. He's going to he's taking over.
I think you're going to have to get him now.
Oh yeah,
because I think he will have continued success. So people are not going to want to trade him, especially if he goes like 2-3 weeks in a row scoring pretty well. But yeah, I would definitely try to snatch him up, buy low when you can. That's one of my favorite targets right now.
Yes, that Jeff Wilson, bro. If you, I know we're Dolphins fans, so it's coming from a little bit of point of bias, but I mean, I got to see it at Hard Rock, man. Like this kid has a stranglehold on the running back room. Like it's a plug and play option, man. Jeff Wilson was one of the first running backs to have over 100. I think he was our first 100-yard rusher this year. Like Duke Johnson was the only Dolphins 100-yard rusher last year. We need that consistent run game. That's why Mike McDaniel traded for him. He knows the system. He fit right in. And maybe you can convince someone that Jeff Wilson is still in a committee, but I think he's a starting running back in Miami.
A non-Dolphins trade.
Deontay Foreman could be a nice one too. I think he's having the strangle one. What's your another running back?
Yeah. Kadarius Toney.
Okay,
on the Chiefs. If somebody's willing,
it's receiver.
Yeah, receiver.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's willing to let him go. I was just talking about fantasy targets in general. People you can probably get for not too much. Kadarius Toney, I think, just is going to get more and more and more involvement in that Chiefs offense. He's going to get his touches. He looks pretty explosive this past week. Had a couple spin moves, some good and bad punt return maneuvers. But he looked pretty explosive, pretty fast, not hurt at all. And looked like he was having a lot of fun with Patrick Mahomes there.
New toy for Andy Reid, man. That's also a nice little trade play if you can make it. Or even conversely, like if you could, that's an interesting one because it's like a buy low, but it's also like a sell high. Like if you can convince the Chiefs fanboy that they have the next Tyreek.
Yes, also true. Exactly. But I think it goes both ways.
King Dirk's comment. I traded Kamara for AJ Brown, Michael Carter, and James Robinson. Did I win? I'd have to look at your team, but I assume you needed the wide receiver depth. But that's. I don't think you lost too much in running back. James Robinson, Michael Carter. I mean, you basically traded for the Jets running back room. But with one of those guys figure it out, you'll have a running back.
If you had the running backs and you needed the receiver, then I think that's fine. AJ Brown, I think is a wide receiver one. And James Robinson's going to be like flex play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Michael Carter's a decent runner. Between him and James Robinson, they'll figure it out who's going to be like your flex play, touchdown dependent RB2.
Receiver, it totally depends on your team. If you needed the wide receiver, then I think that's totally fine. I love AJ Brown. I think he's pretty consistent. Jalen Hurts loves to throw to him. And they obviously have a pretty high-powered offense. They did lose. They did take their first loss to Washington there last night. But yeah, I think AJ Brown's great.
Phenomenal, bro. Like it's again, like
also the Saints offense, not the best always.
Exactly, man. It's what we were talking about with that with the Chiefs. You know, like anytime you want, you can get a nice piece of a high-powered offense in fantasy football. Mm-hmm. More points means on real life means more fantasy points, bro. So if you can get a piece of the Eagles offense and dump off some of the Saints, I'll take that. The Saints do not look hot besides Chris Olave right now, who seems to be quarterback proof. Yeah.
Olave is pretty sick.
But any more buy low, sell highs, you think, or
I think those are my two favorites. I think are Wilson,
Kadarius Tony?
Kadarius Tony, and you're right, an interesting Kadarius Tony because it could also be a sell high and a buy low. Could work out for both parties.
Very wide range of like a lot of times in fantasy football when you're making a trade, you've really got to pick up on people's tendencies, particularly if you play with them a long
Exactly.
time, you can figure it out.
It depends on who the person is.
Oh yeah. Like for example, like I know and like one of our leagues, one of our buddies is always gonna draft 2 tight ends and then he's gonna trade one of them. You know I'm talking about Trevor. Like so I know he values tight ends very well, very highly. And if he misses on those tight ends, I can trade one later on for him later in the season because I know he likes that position a lot.
I have a friend
I
that
like
drafts
running
any
backs a
Chiefs
lot.
player.
You can sell running backs very high to me. Okay. Some players value receivers. Some players value high upside rather than consistency. That's how you're going to win this trade deadline. Figuring out your trade partners and getting the maximum value for players that you yourself do not value. There are guys who week in, week out, you're comparing like an Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson situation. Isaiah Pacheco has more upside. Brian Robinson probably has more consistency. It's up to you as a manager to determine who do I want on my team. Because if I'm just starting the high upside guy and leaving the consistent guy on the bench every single week, then I'm just wasting my time and my talent. Let's just trade that other guy and get more pieces on the team, little stuff like that, Spence.
Yeah, or if you need a lot,
Of course, boss.
We don't need big moves, yeah. But do appreciate you. Let's go into who's balling, who's falling.
Yes, sir. I hope you guys enjoyed the fantasy talk. We'll peep some questions later on, but
Yeah,
who's
definitely.
who's falling,
leave your
man.
questions in the chat. But so some answered questions and unanswered questions. But my who's balling right now? Jeff Saturday is balling. Indianapolis Colts. They're still bad, but you know what? They got a win. There's a new coach. Everyone was like, Jeff Saturday. He has no coaching experience, but you know what? He looked pretty good. He changed starting QB a couple days before the game, put Matt Ryan back in the starting quarterback position, and they looked pretty good. They beat the Raiders. Raiders stink, but
poor Derek Carr. Did you see him getting all emotional, man?
Yeah, what's going on there? They got to fire Josh McDaniel, right?
Josh McDaniels is just an idiot, bro. Like he's not a good head coach. I don't think
fire
him. And I think it's the stupidest thing is the fact that like he get fired because he sucks as a head coach, but he would get hired by the Patriots in a heartbeat. And like that's kind of infuriating, bro. Like
I don't know. That's not infuriating.
Yeah, it is, bro. He's clearly incompetent, man. This isn't the first time he's left New England.
He had so much success on the Patriots.
No, but every time he's left New England, he's failed, bro.
So, but doesn't mean that he's not good at what he did in New England.
He's just getting bro. He's a schmuck. He's making Derek Carr cry, bro. I hate him. David Carr should go into that room and say, "You're picking on my little bro. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, man."
I do think he's got to be getting on the hot seat at some point.
You see, right? Jeff Saturday, Josh McDaniels was the ultimate like polar opposite bull, bro. And I think he's a thousand. I think he's 1,000% on the hot seat, man. Like Jeff Saturday is a guy who came in, changed the culture. You saw he was like, "It's for us all.
One week.
The game ball's for us all. We're doing it." Yeah, he was all hype, bro.
It has been 1 week, and they're still pretty bad, and they play the Eagles next week. So maybe we gotta cool it on and change the culture. But he could change the culture. You never know.
What if they mollywop the Eagles, man?
The Colts guy.
What if they mollywop the Eagles?
That'd be sick.
What if they just go out there? Jonathan Taylor rushes for 200 yards. Matt Ryan says, "I am the only Birdman out here, bro." And
maybe
he goes for that Falcons Matt Ryan vibes. Him, Michael Pittman, Paris Campbell. What an offense, man. Like they just like doesn't that just invoke fear in you? Matt Ryan, Michael Pittman, and Paris Campbell, baby.
Is that the bold take? Colts over Eagles?
I mean, I had Colts over the Raiders, bro. Everyone thought this was a dumpster fire of a move. So you know what? I'm gonna keep riding the Jeff Saturday wave, bro.
Let's go, Jeff Saturday. Good luck. We're rooting for you, hoping for you a mollywhopping of the Eagles. Another who's balling. Speaking of the Eagles, another who's balling. Taylor Heineke. I think that was a big win for him. You
I
know
love
what
how
I
you said
mean?
speaking of the Eagles and went on to name a Commanders player. You're a savage.
Exactly. That's what Taylor Heineke did to them, bro.
Put
um,
some respect on my name.
big win
Tyler
for him.
Heineke.
Big win for him. So they showed a stat on last night's game that was interesting. Taylor Heineke is 9-9 as the starter. Not great, 500. All the other starters in Washington, 10-37 combined. So I guess better.
I guess.
But I don't know. To me, I don't even think you worry about rushing Carson Wentz back. I think he's playing just as good as Wentz was playing, if not a little better. And if the team rallies around him a little more, he seems to have a little more like fire in him when he plays. You know what I mean? Like something that not like fire in him, like you know what I mean? He's expressive on the field. You got a little mojo about him. Um, so I just keep riding. I probably keep riding Heineke. I think that's a big win for him. And he can probably use that momentum right now.
I agree. It's when Cooper Rush was doing so well for the Cowboys, it was like, why would you go back to Dak Prescott? Well, it's because Dak Prescott is much better than Cooper Rush. Okay,
Yes, that is true.
Taylor Heineke, despite not having the same wins as Cooper Rush, he just brings, like you said, the moxie, the energy to the team that Carson Wentz has just never really inspired in anywhere he's gone. Carson is not the guy who's going to go and make you run through a brick wall. But,
yeah.
But Taylor Heineke, I'm storming the bunker for that man, bro. I'll be in a foxhole for hours with that man. And then when we say charge, I say, me first, Taylor. You stay down here, brother. I'm going. I got this, man. Like, this guy, he does inspire you. Carson Wentz tells me to get out of the bunker. I am smacking him across the helmet, bro, and telling him to suck my left toenail, bro. Literally, man. You first, Carson. You're a mobile ass. Get out there and show me what you can do. Like, you cannot tell this Commanders team, hey, we're going to take the moxie and the swagger out of you with the guy who beat the Eagles. Yeah, we're going to go put Carson Wentz back out there. Like, he doesn't have the arm. He doesn't have this otherworldly talent to say, yeah, I deserve to be on the field, bro.
Granted, Taylor Heineke didn't do anything necessarily that special.
That kneel down was epic.
I think he just carries a different energy with him, and I think, I don't know. They're probably like fairly level as far as what you're going to get out of them. Carson Wentz probably does have a little bit more potential.
Yeah,
as like a QB, like I don't even know if I can say that. You know what I mean?
What I would do is I would just keep riding Taylor Heineke.
He's just so inconsistent.
Yeah, I would say
think his highs are higher. I think he's got higher highs, but I also think he just like messes up a lot. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
There's some games where Carson goes, okay, that's why he was the number 2 overall pick, and then there are some, and there are some games you go, oh, this is why you played at North Dakota State or whatever, like this is ridiculous, or South Dakota, wherever he went. He went to Dakota something.
North Dakota State.
That's terrible, brother.
No, like, they're legendary. All their QBs are fire.
They're like the Jackrabbits or something, or like the Mountaineers or something. There's some stupid
something like that. Bison. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's irrelevant, bro. And
North Dakota State Bison. Yeah, they're the Bison.
That's terrible, bro. Like it's.
Hey, don't hate on the Bison.
What I would do, bro, is I would just play Taylor Heineke, and then I would just say, oh, Carson Wentz waiting to recover. We need to see he's almost fully healthy. Just do what the Dolphins did. Carson Wentz is healthy enough to be a backup, but he's not healthy enough to start the game. And then if Taylor Heineke flops around, you just throw in Carson Wentz in there. And then if Carson Wentz sucks, then you can go, he wasn't fully healthy. And then just go back to Taylor Heineke, bro.
They do have 2 winnable games coming up. Next 2 are against the Texans and the Falcons.
Bada bam, go do that.
Both winnable games. So I think if Heineke wins both of them, you just keep riding in there.
Of course, bro. It's the only thing is it's Dan Snyder, bro. Like he's an idiot.
I mean,
He's selling the team,
anybody
bro. I
balling
feared
for
it.
you, Fernando?
Ballin for me, man. I won't go too Dolphins into this, but it is still a Miami Dolphins player, bro. Tyreek motherfucking Hill, bro. Like this cat is number one in receiving yards in the NFL, 1,100, bro. He's absolutely dogging everyone in the NFL. My God,
I
the
mean,
fact that people
he's
saying
crazy.
he went to Miami just for the money. He was never going to crack 1,000 yards again. His career was going to be over. He was going to slide into relevancy.
They
My
didn't
guy's
say
having
that. Come on.
everyone, brother. Everyone was coming at him saying, "What you should have stayed in Kansas." Wow, look at you. You went for the money, and now you're going to become a nobody in Miami. You saw all the memes, the little meme of Tua, the underthrown ball, and Tyreek nowhere near him, bro. They're saying, "Oh, good luck in Miami, bro. Good luck." He's having literally the best season of his entire career. So
He,
Tyreek freaking
I hope
Hill,
he's 2000. I hope he's 2000. That'd be sick.
like I think he's only on pace for 1,900 yards now, Spence. Damn,
Yeah,
bro.
this is his first pretty standard game this past week. And that did inspire confidence, even more confidence than I already had before in the offense because Tyreek didn't have a great game. Jalen Waddle didn't do all that, 65 yards or so, maybe 66 yards. And we scored 39 points. You know what I mean? Like it was just an all around what I call like an easy blowout. You know what I mean? Just a smooth, clean football game. Nothing too dramatic or exciting. Just go down, score, and win. Pretty good execution.
Score and win, brother. That's all we needed to do, man. Like it was a fun game, man. Like it's what you need to do is just beat up on bad teams, bro. I think the entire Dolphins are balling. The entire AFC, like the
Yeah.
AFC East is balling, bro.
Buffalo's 6-3 and they're in third place. Who would have thought that was gonna happen?
Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like the Jets are right up there as well. The Patriots, all four AFC East teams right now would be in the playoffs if it ended. All four NFC East teams would be in
NFC
the playoffs
East also,
easily.
I think the Commanders are the only ones not in there at the moment, but they're like
No,
half a game out.
all four. All
All of them
four
in the NFC
all
East
four
also.
NFC East and all four AFC East seem
That's
to be in
what
the
we're
playoffs.
going for. I think we got to root for an all East playoffs.
It's pretty cool, man. Like I love seeing how the Dolphins have progressed. But I tweeted it earlier, like the rise of the AFC East at first it looks scary, but I think it's actually a good thing for the Miami Dolphins. Like I think it's going to keep us sharp on our toes. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not going to be
That's true.
complacent. Every season, every offseason, nerdy Mike McDaniel and savage Chris Greer are going to go into the office and say, "This year was fun. We did well. How are we going to get better?" Because Joe Douglas and the Jets are going to improve. Josh Allen and the Bills are still going to be the Bills. Bill Belichick does not seem to be retiring anytime soon as much as I want him to, man. Like, it's a tough division. But if there was any weakness, I would fear that the Dolphins would get complacent. You know what I'm saying?
It is a little unfortunate for the Dolphins that they go from the Patriots for 20 years and then immediately the Bills become the Bills of now. Pretty unfortunate, especially
We
because
beat them.
yeah, that's true. But they're going to be there for a long time. Josh Allen's pretty good at football.
He's okay.
Did he? Hey, he's made a couple of mistakes the past couple of weeks.
Josh
Throwing a lot
Allen
of
looks mortal,
interceptions.
bro.
A lot of big interceptions thrown,
You
and the
mean
fumble in the end zone didn't help.
Josh Allen, the league leader in interceptions?
League leader,
Great
still pretty
MVP, huh?
good.
Not
Still
an
pretty good.
MVP case, though. No MVP case for Josh. Not
Yeah,
when you're
can't give
fumbling on
an
the goal
MVP.
line. No, 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 no,
No.
no, 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 no.
Hey, I mean, it's gonna be hard for Tyreek to win MVP, just because he's a wide receiver.
It
But
won't happen.
could be to a possibility as well.
I don't know, bro. Like, I think Tua has a higher chance of winning the MVP. I don't think he will. I think Tyreek Hill's a lock for Offensive Player of the Year, though. Like, I
Yeah, I
it's
mean, not a lock yet. It's still Too early to declare it.
Who else? What other offensive
But
player?
at this point, yeah, I put him as a front runner.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I think at this point he's like up and away, miles above as the front runner. You know what I'm saying? Like he's by far the best receiver in the NFL right now. None of the tight ends are doing particularly
Justin
too hot.
Jefferson's pretty good as well.
Yeah, bro. But like I Tyreek just gets open on command, bro. It's like he's absolutely feasting right now. He's the focal point of this offense, and it shows, man. Like
I mean, that is true.
Tyreek,
And he is
bro.
incredible to watch. He's always open.
Like,
Does so much. Yeah.
I think in 20
whatever you
years
want.
from now, Tyreek Hill will still be top 5% most athletic people in the world. Like
In
as
20 years,
a 50-year-old man. Like I think
I'm
Tyreek,
just like, yeah, I can see that.
dude, like what Terrell Owens still runs like a
T.O.,
4.42.
yeah, I think he could do that. He's definitely gonna keep that up.
Cake, bro. We're gonna be seeing Tyreek Hill run at the combine until he's like 70 years old.
I feel like Tyreek would be one of those people that not a coach like a trainer, but that just goes like very hard against the people he trains. You know what I mean? Or like the person at the combine going against the people and like going way too hard. That's gonna be. I feel like that's Tyreek would be.
Dude,
at 47.
He's gonna carry the torch for Run Rich Run, man. Like Rich Eisen's gonna be retired, and you're just gonna see Tyreek Hill dogging people, bro.
Yeah,
He's gonna raise so much money.
He's gonna race the people in the combine.
Come on.
Could be.
Oh, but it's just a wonderful time to be a Miami Dolphin fan right now, man. 7-3, entering the bye week. Like, I think this is exactly what I hoped for, man. As a Fins fan,
Yes, and could be like if Tua didn't get hurt, I'd say we're easily 8-2. You know what I mean?
Easily, bro.
At least. Yes. So as long as Tua can stay healthy, I feel pretty good. I do think the defense still needs to improve. They did have a good game this week against the Jacoby Brissett-led Browns team. Did pretty well against Nick Chubb and the run. But yes, definitely think there's some improvements to be made on the defense still. But if we can get that figured out, I'm pretty confident that the offense is always going to be there. They can put up 30 points if we need. So it's fun. It's fun. Speaking of something that might be a little less fun, Thursday night game coming up. Not the best game in the world. Titans versus Packers. Two pretty boring teams. Tannehill is back. The Titans are 6-3 after beating the Broncos.
How wild to say that. Aaron Rodgers, what a boring man.
I know, right? But the Packers are like not good.
You're not even wrong. That's the craziest part, brother.
They did have a big win. They had a big win, pretty exciting win against the Cowboys. And the crazy thing about this is that it's what, week 11 now, and I'd say must win mode for the Packers for the foreseeable future, or else the panic buttons will just be too much. Might be too much to overcome. I just say must win. Big win against Dallas, and they just got to keep going.
Yeah, Chris Watson finally had a sighting and a massive game, actually. So, Packers fans might have a little bit something to hang their hat on. But you're right. Every single game is a must win. Like, they have to beat the Titans. And the Titans are no slouch, they're no pushover. Even without Tannehill, they've been competitive. Like, Malik Willis taking them overtime against the Chiefs was something crazy, man. Derrick Henry is a man possessed once again. Tractor Cito, the king, the legend, stiff arm. Give him more practice, dummy people, bro. So just toss into the ground.
I don't know. Boring game. They had a boring game this week against the Broncos.
Oh, this is going to be a disgusting Thursday night game, bro. Like, this is going to be one of those, like, remember when the Broncos Colts was like 12-9?
12-9,
yeah. Or we're going to see like a freaking 15-14 win. And it's going to be,
you're saying?
Yeah, it's going to be disgusting. Aaron Rodgers is going to pull it out from the skin of his teeth, and he's going to be pissed. He's going to win, and he's going to be pissed. He's going to be like, wow, this is a terrible game.
I'm going 17-13 Titans. 17-13 Titans. I think it's going to be a tough night for the Packers. I think the Titans defense is gonna hold up, is gonna cause them some problems. I don't think they're gonna score all that many points. Packers defense has actually played pretty well. And the Titans offense, yes, Derrick Henry is very good, but it hasn't always been the most consistent. If they can keep it up, they do have Tannehill back again. I think they're going to score a couple times. It's going to be a pretty ugly game all around. 17-13 Titans after a missed extra point for the Packers. That's what's going to happen.
As always, I have no clue how my score will get to 15-14. I'll say freaking 5 field goals for the Packs. And
5 field goals. That'd be painful.
Or, I could see.
No, shout out kickers. You're right. Shout out to the kickers.
I could see a little 15. I could see a little 14-7, and then they go for the score, and they go, dude, we suck. Let's go for 2, man. Like
go for 2.
I can't go to overtime. I was gonna look at you losers around me, bro. You think we're gonna win an OT? You losers. We're gonna play one more play, and we'll either win the game or we'll lose. And then Aaron Rodgers will win, and I'm telling you, he's gonna be pissed. He's gonna walk off the field. He's gonna
I feel like
I freaking barely beat Tannehill. This is so stupid.
I feel like they would do something like that if they score and Aaron Rodgers just like, no, fuck it, we're gonna go for 2. Let's do it. I feel like the Packers would do that.
Why not? Their defense has improved as of late, but it's a little banged up for sure. Like Chris Barnes,
that'd be a good call.
Their linebacking core is a little banged up, so tough against Derrick Henry. I like that. I love that. 15-14.
Love that.
2-point conversion win. Pack.
And with that, enjoy it. The start of a new NFL week. Sadly, one that the Dolphins do not play in with our bye week.
I have to watch garbage football now.
Fun. Don't enjoy that Thursday night game too much. But you know what? Maybe we'll be in for a surprise. It's always a pleasure, Fernando.
Brother, man. Always a pleasure, man.
Shout out Naked Juice for not sponsoring this episode.
Hey, man. The Naked Juice, we always vibe. Boom. Blue Machine.
And that was episode 1 of the Football Buddies.
Football Buddies.
Chat, like, comment, subscribe at the Fumblebrewski. Please tell us you understand the reference there. And we'll see you next time.
Football Buddies, you're the one. You make football so much fun.
Football Buddies.
Football Buddies. Football Buddies.